Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and I just got back from watching the fights at Buffalo Wild Wings. John Jones versus St. Pierre. The main event, in my opinion, was disappointing, but had a few knockouts, some pretty exotic kicks, and it was all right. I'm excited to learn that Anderson Silva is going to be fighting in the next pay-per-view. He's not main eventing, but I love to see him fight. But someone, while I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, left a comment on my most recent Kookaroo video, asking if I'll do a folding knife collection. And as you see right here, this is almost all of my folding knives. There was probably 2, maybe 3 folding knives here that are missing. I know I'm missing my old school Recon 1 Tanto. It's in my Jeep and I don't feel like going out there to get it. I know I'm missing my folding fillet knife, and I can't remember if my Swiss Army knife is in here or not, but this is about 98% of my folding knife collection. And I thought what I'll do here is just pick a folding knife up, tell you something about it, like how it's significant to me, and if it's one that I like or don't like, if it's my favorite in a particular category. It's not going to be a review or anything, it's just a couple of words about it. I'm going to set it off to the side, pick up another folding knife. So I guess I'll start off. Which one am I going to pick? I'll pick this one. This is the Peasant knife. Really cool beetle knife, high carbon steel. It's a friction photo. It's my first friction photo, and it's very, very cheap. And the reason why I have this blue one is because I originally bought a white one. I ended up cutting the tip of my finger off by closing it one-handed like that, and I lost the white one, so I had to buy this blue one, which I like this blue color. Sticking to the color blue, this is my Endura. I love this color blue. I love the Endura blade shape and the bidirectional texturing. This is my favorite Endura. I put a new pocket clip on it because I didn't like the black pocket clip. I think pocket clips should match the blade when you're putting a knife together and making a knife. There's my Endura, one of my favorite EDC knives I don't carry very often just because I'm constantly carrying other stuff and I go through phases that I like to carry particular things. So that is my Endura, and it is also blue. Sticking with the blue theme, this is extremely blue, but this is my Benchmade 51. You see it has a anodized blue titanium that's jeweled. It's missing the pocket clip screws. It's missing these 2 screws that hold the pocket clip on, and the a latch. That's on accident. I ended up flipping it so much that I lost those screws in the latch, and the latch actually broke, so I need to send this back to Benchmade. This is my favorite Balisong, bar none, that I've ever owned. I'll put that on my nightstand. And I guess since we're on the Balisong theme now, I'll show you this. This is my Vente Nueve. That's not the brand, that's the size of it. The overall length is 29 centimeters, and as you know, the number 29 is significant to Balisongs in the Philippines because it's a very common size. And there's a story of a Filipino martial artist, Balisong master, killing or stabbing 29 men with his Balisong. So the Balisong, the number 29 is significant. And this is my first 29 centimeter Balisong. And I don't like it that much because of the bone, the jig bone. It's very irritating to the hand. This is my FHM Balisong. Well, that one's FHM as well, but this is my first custom Balisong, and it's completely custom to me. I designed it myself, sent it to the business that makes these in the Philippines. By the way, that the other one came from the same people that made this. And I took ballast songs that were already pre-made on the website to be sold, and I copied and pasted them and put them together in Paint like a puzzle, and sent it to him and said, hey, make this for me. This one has a pocket clip so you can EDC it, and as you can see, it's very fluid. You know, that comes from years of breaking it in and lubricant. And I do like this ballast song. I wish I would have went with a different blade shape, but it's decent. That's all my ballast songs. Let's grab this high-vis colored one. This is the Pacific Salt, not specific, but it's the Pacific Salt. This is my second one. I gave my original one away, but this is my EDC knife when I'm at the beach. Most of the time when I'm at the beach, I carry this because it's made out of H1 steel. I love the Endura blade shape, and I love the serrations with this knife. Completely rust proof. If you live near the water and you're in it a lot, this is a good knife to have. Here is another yellow knife. It says John 3:16. This was a gift from some family friends. This is a mini trapple, and I really don't carry it that much, just because I'm not a trapple kind of guy. I have a trapple that's a little bit bigger than this that I do carry occasionally, but you know, it's just I'm not a big case fan. I have one case knife that I really love, or two case knives I like, but I'm not a big WR Case and Son fan. I've seen some kind of subpar things come from their factory. The other case, this is a case Sodbuster. If I have to say I have a favorite case, this is one of them. Very simple. My brother put a kind of a rock pattern on the Durlin. This is all you need to process a deer. You can skin, gut, and process a deer with this. You don't really need anything bigger, and you can really do it with something smaller than this, but this is a good, affordable knife. And if you're going to pry the hip joints, this is a good knife to do that with, because you don't have to worry about really breaking it and being out of a lot of money. But this is a cool case knife. Let me pull out another case knife if I can find it. I'll get on a slip joint kick here. Now, where was my sway back jack? I guess the sway back jack is going to have to wait because I can't find it. And I don't think my Swiss Army knife is in here. Okay, we'll move on. Oh, there's the sway back jack. This is the sway back jack in chrome vanadium steel. Awesome EDC knife. You have a Wharncliffe, which gives you great tip control, good for cutting out coupons or opening up mail or packages, and you get a little pin blade, which is good. I like slip joints that have multiple blades because you can keep one really sharp and use the other one on a daily basis, and if you're ever in an emergency, you just pull out that secondary blade. So this, I'd have to say, is my favorite EDC slip joint, at least from Case. One of my favorite case knives. Sticking with the old school theme, this is a Great Eastern Cutlery TD-Ute whaler knife. This is a elephant toenail. One of the few companies that are making elephant toenails is GEC. This is in 1095. You can see there's a lot of patina on the master blade. And I keep this in my Timbuktu bag as a backup EDC knife for when I'm at work. I work as a groundskeeper, and sometimes I'm cutting some heavy duty stuff. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. And this is a pretty heavy duty knife. I love GEC. This is the only GEC I own, but they have some quality stuff coming from their factory, much more so than I believe Case. So this is one of my favorite slip joints. It's not the most practical slip joint, but it's a good one. Sticking with the, well, let's do a couple more slip joints, and then we'll get into the traditional kick. This is what I believe to be a counterfeit old school Swiss Army knife. This is not the Swiss Army knife that I wanted to show you, but I bought this on eBay from a guy in Switzerland, and he advertised it to be a genuine antique Swiss Army knife. But the problem is the tang stamp that says Elsner Swiss doesn't match the 42 on the back. Now, I'm not a case expert, but according to my collector's companion book, that these two tang stamps don't match up. So it might be genuine, but there's a good possibility that it's counterfeit. This is one of my grandfather's knives. It's made in Solingen, Germany. It's just a pin blade, and I never carry it. I just own it. Has some rust on it. It would be a decent knife if I decide to clean it up, but right now it's just performing sentimental duties. Here is my granddad's pocket watch. Probably shouldn't have had it buried in there. And this is the fob that it came with, or that it came with when I got it. This is my granddad's, and it's a Japanese pocket watch fob that has a blade and a fingernail cleaner / file. And you know, I do carry this occasionally. This is a completely functioning pocket watch. It's a very nice pocket watch. It has a level set, you know, it's railroad grade, 23 jewels, and who knows, when I'm dead it might be worth thousands. I don't know. Let's see. Here is another slip joint. This is a UKPK, the first generation of the UKPK. It's called the UKPK because it's legal in the UK, Britain. You know, this is a good travel knife if you're traveling to a place and you're not sure what the knife laws are. This isn't legal in Denmark, but it's legal just about everywhere. It has a good wire pocket clip, good EDC knife that I rarely carry just because I can carry cooler things. Let's see what else. Traditional knives. I want to stick traditional for a while. First off, we got this Opinel in carbon steel. A lot of patina on it. I use this a lot to cut up apples. I don't know why, but this is usually the knife I grab when I'm cutting apples. And I have a number 12 Opinel, but I lost it, and I don't know where it is. But this is a number 8, I believe, in carbon steel, made in France. And its predecessor, this is the Nortel. This knife company and this knife design has been around since the 15th century. And this is made out of, I think, ebony wood. It has a nice EDC blade shape. This is my favorite French knife that I own. Favorite traditional French knife that I own. I own some other French knives that are not really traditional that I like. But as far as a non-tactical non-tactical EDC French knife, this is my favorite. I like it better than the Laguerre. Speaking of Laguerre, I had the Laguerre en Blanc. I want to get a Fontenay II Laguerre, but as of right now, this is what I have, and I think I'm going to sell this. It's a good knife, but it's just, I don't know. I don't really have a use for it, and there's more beautiful versions of this knife that I'd rather own. This is made out of juniper. It has a very peppery, like a black pepper smell to it. And it comes with a good gift wrap setup. Here's another case. This is my case Sparex, white Durlin. This one has a little bit more use on it. It's a little bit bigger. I like a medium to large size knife normally. And that is my favorite trapple that I own. I had a pretty old trapple that I found on the ground at work, but I gave it to my brother because I'm not a trapple guy. Let's see, any more traditional knives. This is not going to sling out. This is a kissing crane that I broke. The locking mechanism is broke on it, so it's not functional. I really need to throw it away, but I still have it in the collection for some strange reason. So yeah, there it is. It's making an appearance in a video. This is my Dovo straight razor. It's a 5/8 round tip, and this is what I shave with when I do shave. I don't shave on a very regular basis anymore. I kind of keep some stubble or a light beard. And let's see, I have another straight razor in my travel shave pack. This is made in Solingen, Germany. I can't remember what brand it is. This is an antique. Let me pull it out of the bag. It has Reliance right here. Then it has R.H. Hengel, and it says Indianapolis, Minnesota, and then it says Germany on it. And I used to shave with this. This is a spike, and this will bite you if you're not careful. All straight razors will bite you, but this one really will. This is my first straight razor, and me and my brother restored it, and it's a good shaver, but it's an antique, so I keep it in my travel straight razor shave kit, and I haven't used that travel shave kit yet when traveling because I normally don't shave when I travel. Okay, more traditional knives. This is a cold steel tie light. This is the XHP aluminum version, and this is based off of a Italian stiletto that was very popular in the 50s. It is not a switchblade, but it's just as fast as one. And I regret getting this just because it's not an awesome self-defense knife, and it's not an awesome EDC knife. You can do those tasks with them, but it's just not the best for the either use. It's a very sexy knife. It's very appealing, but as far as a self-defense knife, I can carry 5.5 inches, and as far as an EDC knife, I can carry something that is just a little bit more EDC friendly. These quillions tear up your pockets, but I have it. I might trade it off or sell it someday. Now, I did forget this. This is the Benchmade 42, and as you can see, the tip is blunted. The edge is like non-existent. I kind of use this as a trainer. I flip it a lot, and when I do flip, I flip this one more often than the others. And who knows, if this was in mint condition, I can get like $600 to $800 for it, but probably can't get anything for it now, just because it's in such poor condition. It still functions, and I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I have a 42. Maybe someday I'll get the 62 or 60 series, but I'm glad I have a 42. Some other kind of old school designs. This is a Mark knife. It's made by Camilla's. Back before they sold out to a Chinese company, this is made in the USA, and it's a Camilla's. Has my stepdad's company's logo on it. He doesn't own the company, he just works for the company. And he gave this to me when I was young as a free pocket knife, and it's a decent knife. I just don't carry it because I can carry cooler things. Here's another knife from that company, Mark, Mid-American Research Chemical. This one's made in China, and I actually used this as a prop in my one-act play class, or one-act play in high school. I took it to assemble the concrete and took the edge off, which turns out I didn't need to do that because no one at Central cares if you carry a pocket knife or not, but I did dull it for the acting competition in case the people at the other schools I visited didn't like a edged knife. This is a Zippo knife that my dad gave me with the tip broken off of, and I got it. You can see it says Zippo. I got it just because. I never threw it away. He gave it to me as a gift. I generally keep things that are gifts. Like if I get a gun as a gift or a knife as a gift, I generally don't give it away. I keep it. This is another one of my granddad's knives, and it's made by Case. It's a W.R. Case & Son, and made in the USA. It's a cheap case, but it's my granddad's. My dad actually got this knife for my granddad, and this is the one knife that he used on a pretty regular basis. My granddad used this to open mail on a pretty regular basis, so it is now my knife. Sticking in the pseudo-traditional knives, this is a Swiss Army knife, but it's not a traditional slip joint pocket knife. It's the new soldier's knife that they started carrying in 2009. This is a 2009. No, I think it was 2008. This is a 2009 version, and this is kind of the tactical Swiss Army knife. No pocket clip, but it's one-handed opening, locking, and this is what the Swiss Army is carrying now. And I think this is probably the best soldier's knife from Swiss Army that has ever been put out. At least one of the most practical ones. Okay, we're starting to get into the fancy tactical kind of stuff. Got a few more EDC knives. Let's finish out the EDC knife thing, and then we'll move to the tactical. This is a benchmark ceramic knife, and this ceramic knife is so fast to open, so easy, so smooth. You'll never find a Chris Reeve knife that is as smooth as this. It's just how I like it, and it's a good knife if you're going to be cutting meat, tape, maybe cardboard, string. It holds its edge for almost forever, but if you cut something hard, it's going to chip. So I do like this knife, but I don't carry it that much because you never know what your cutting job for the day is going to ask of you. So I like to carry something a little bit more robust. But ceramic knives are cool, and they have their place in the cutlery world. EDC knives. This is a Leatherman Sidekick, I believe. Yes, this is a Sidekick. I'm not going to pull out all the tools, but this is a, I guess you can say, medium duty multi-tool. It has a pocket clip. I don't carry it anymore. Not my favorite. Now these are my two favorite multi-tools. I got the Leatherman Surge, which I sometimes carry during the winter when I'm wearing a belt and I'm not doing much mowing or weed eating, doing some maintenance type work. And I usually wear this one on my belt or keep it in the vehicle. This is the Swiss tool, and this is a very cool MT heavy duty multi-tool. I love the traditional pin blade in it. I usually keep this in my Timbuktu bag as a backup EDC / multi-tool. EDC knives. I'm sticking to the themes here. This is the Ripple from Ken Onion and Colombian River Knife and Tool. Pretty smooth. It's a very attractive knife, and has the flat top VEF serrations, which are really well. Has a beautiful blade shape for EDC task, a near perfect blade shape for EDC task, almost like the Endura. They're just perfect for everyday cutting task. And it has the IKBS bearing system on it. And this is a forced production run I got at the NRA convention. I don't carry it a lot, but I'm going to keep it in case I need a dress knife, and I don't want to carry my other dress knife, which I'm about to show you. This is the most expensive knife I own, and it has recently let me down. This is my William Henry. Very smooth knife, much smoother than any Chris Reeve knife. I'm not a big fan of Chris Reeve knives. Mike Norris ribbon Damascus, a diamond thumb stud, mammoth tooth, Makunagame, sterling silver, and you see that dark spot right there? A diamond is supposed to be in there, but it's not in there because it fell out. So I'm going to have to take this button lock and either send it back to William Henry or take it to my local jeweler and get a new diamond put in there, because I was showing this to a family member and I was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite EDC knives that I carry when I want to be fancy. And I was like, huh, the diamond is missing, so now I don't want to carry it. It's a very beautiful knife already, but since the diamond's missing, I really don't want to show it off that much. And so that is my William Henry ostrich skin leather sleeve with a sterling silver pocket clip. This is my Straddle. Another favorite EDC knife in the more tactical industrial category. I love the anodization on the titanium. I'm not the biggest fan of the Tiger Stripe. The Tiger Stripe looks cool, but it makes it more likely to rust. This is CPM 154. So good steel. I love the titanium frame lock. Very user-friendly, very smooth, and yes, it is smoother than any Chris Reeve knife I've ever handled, which was one, so maybe that was a dud, but to me, Chris Reeve knives, or the Sebenza, is not, for me. Here is my first Spyderco. My brother called me. He was at a pawn shop and he's like, hey, they have some Spydercos. Do you want me to buy one and you can pay me back? And I was like, yeah, sure. So this is the first generation Endura serrated, made from G2 stainless steel, and it has the integrated plastic pocket clip. I carried this for a while, but now it just stays in the collection as kind of a safe queen. It's not necessarily valuable, and I do occasionally carry it, but I'm afraid that I'll break the plastic pocket clip, so I don't carry it that much. But it is an awesome EDC knife, and this has the old school texturing on it, which I'm not as big of a fan, but it's a good EDC knife, and it's a good first Spyderco. It cost me 30 bucks. So, and it's made from G2 G2 steel, which is good in my opinion. This is a black Hot Crucible, stubby knife, and this is supposed to be a tactical self-defense knife. I'll call it a self-defense knife, not necessarily a fighting knife. And the big selling point behind this knife, I got it at a pawn shop. Actually got it from my brother, and then I traded my Spyderco Rookie to my brother for this, and I kind of regret it. But the big selling point behind this knife was that you can buy a fixed blade version of it, and you could interchange the fixed blade and the folding knife in the same Kydex sheath. So you can carry a fixed blade and you can carry a folding, and they'll be identical, and you can train with both, and you can put them both in the same sheath. It was a really crappy selling point. It means nothing, but I still have it has very sharp jimping. Nothing fancy. Would love it if it had skeletonized liners, but I still have it. This is the 4th generation Crucible. This is the cold steel Recon 1 Tanto in XHP steel, DLC coated. This is the newest generation of Recon 1. I have the original Recon 1 in my Jeep, and I might have a couple other pocket knives in there as well, but it's late at night. I don't feel like deactivating the alarm system and going out there to get it. So this is a good self-defense knife. It's a good EDC knife, and not the best EDC knife, but it'll get the job done. Good all-around knife if you're gonna get a cold steel Recon series. You know, I think this is the way to go as far as the triad lock, and you know, it's a good knife. It's a good self-defense folding knife, which I have a whole series talking about the different subcategories of tactical knives. You can look that video up. I think it's called Defining Tactical Knives. Good self-defense knife, or tactical EDC. There you go. I don't carry it too much. I sometimes carry it to the beach because XHP is somewhat corrosion resistant. This is my Emerson combat karambit, and this is my cold steel Tiger. Good self-defense knives. I don't believe karambits are the ultimate knife like they're advertised, but they definitely have their place. I went through a phase where I really like karambits, but they're good self-defense knives, not good fighting knives, not good fighting knives, but they're good self-defense tools. And again, you can look up that video where I define the different subcategories of tactical knives. I'll start with these two Colombian River knife and tool knives. This is the Altanashi no Ken, good self-defense knife. You can use it as a tactical EDC. If you're gonna get a James Williams self-defense knife, don't get the Hisatsu, although the Hisatsu does have some advantages over this. But as far as a self-defense knife that you're going to carry, this is so thin and so carryable, and it has a high concealed carry pocket clip. This is the ultimate folding Tanto, or at least the best folding traditional Tanto. Don't get the Bogle Quakens or the folding Hisatsu unless you have some kind of blade length limit. But this is a little bit over 4 inches. It's good size, extremely good penetrating tip, good slicing capabilities. I haven't been able to get it super scary sharp because of the cross section, but as far as a self-defense knife, I think this is one of the better ones. Easy to deploy, super easy to carry. The only hit I have on it is that the lock system is a manual locks and not the auto locks. Colombian River Knife and Tool, if you watch this, put the auto locks on your knives that have 2 locking mechanisms, because I really don't want to have to fiddle with this in a self-defense situation. If I have enough time to put the secondary lock and activate it, then I'm not really in a real self-defense situation. But again, a woman might be able to carry this in the waistband because it's so flat. If you're wearing relatively tight jeans, this is a very good self-defense knife to carry because it's so thin and carryable. This is a very carryable knife. The Colombian River Knife and Tool M21 has the VEF serrations. It has the auto locks, which I really like. Like I said, in a self-defense situation, I'm not going to have the luxury of activating that, most likely. But after the situation's dealt with, I can deactivate it and close the knife relatively easily. Has a double quillion gold, which makes it waveable and gives you a little bit of protection. Lionel lock. It's not the strongest knife in the world, but it's strong enough. Last in our kind of tactical EDC category, I consider this a tactical EDC. You can use it as a self-defense knife. It's the XHP Holdout 3, I think. This is kind of in the same category as the what you call it, the Otanashi no Ken. It has a good blade shape for EDC task. You can defend yourself with it. It's very, very thin and very carryable. No Lionels in it because you don't need them. G10 is plenty strong and you don't need stainless steel Lionels. It's not going to do much. But it deploys relatively easily. Has a very, very strong lock. This is one of my favorite cold steel EDC knives. I can't think of another cold steel EDC knife that I like more than this. At least I don't own one at the moment. I'll put that to the side because I'll probably carry that somewhat soon. Now we're to the fighting photos. In my video discussing the different categories of tactical knives, there's a category I like to call the fighting photos because they're 5.5 inches or bigger. And when you get to the 5.5 inch blade length, which is the maximum that I can carry, I might be a little bit biased, but you're able to do certain things with a 5.5 inch blade that you can't do with a 4-inch blade. Really, with a 5.5 inch folding knife, you're going to be cutting a lot with the tip because it's relatively short for a fighting knife. And you're using the range to keep you in the safe zone while still being able to reach them. So you're really using this much of your blade at any given time in a self-defense encounter. But yes, when you get to the 5.5 inch blade length, you can start to parry and work those angles very well. This is the Voyage Vaquero model, the large Vaquero. And I like this. This has the Yatagan blade shape. Very good piercing capabilities. Good slicing because of the recurve. When I'm at work, this is the self-defense knife I carry when I'm working at the school because it can handle bigger cutting tasks, but yet it's not so fancy that I'm afraid to do anything with it, like cut. You know, I can use this as a light machete and, you know, cut stuff that I wouldn't want to cut with my espada. But this is one of my favorite 5.5 inch folding knives if I'm in plain clothes or non-fancy clothes. When I'm in work clothes, this is what I carry. I usually carry this and an EDC knife. I tend to save a bigger knife for self-defense and a smaller EDC knife for cutting tasks because really a 5.5 inch folding knife is awkward to clean your nails with or opening up mail or opening up boxes. 4 inches is about the limit for me for an EDC knife. If it's 5.5 inches, I generally save it for machete or self-defense purposes. Next, I have the Tarwar, which has been a very good knife for me. I got this knife from Lynn Thompson. Lynn Thompson sent this knife to me, and I like it. I prefer plain edge. I don't like these fine tooth serrations. The fine tooth serrations are good for ripping, but they're not the best for slicing. I like the wider gapped serrations. But this has the thumb plate, very wide back here, good tip. This is a good self-defense knife, very ergonomic, extremely ergonomic. And I haven't carried this in a while because, well, I only really carry serrations when I'm at the beach and I'm expecting to cut kind of ropey type material. But this is a good self-defense knife. I have killed a couple of animals with this, not for fun or for hunting purposes. There was my dog caught a squirrel and injured it, and so I took care of it, and my dog ate the squirrel, but it didn't kill it right off the bat. It kind of just injured it, and the squirrel was just kind of sitting there breathing. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and kill the squirrel, not wait for my dog to decide to do it. So, yeah, this one has tasted blood. This is another Voyager. This is the 5.5-inch Osate Voyager. My brother got it for me because he loves it. And I really don't like the full flat grind clip point Voyager. I prefer it to be hollow ground, but this is a good knife. I sometimes carry it at work. It's not a bad knife. To me, it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and so this is a good kind of pocket machete, cut ugly stuff type knife. I'm not so concerned with keeping it pretty, although it is has some rust on it, but it's a good knife. I just don't carry it that often. No offense to my brother, he loves it. I prefer the Vaquero, which he also got me. Start off with this kind of uglier knife. This is the Holdout 1, is it, I think? I'm confused. It's the big Holdout. 6-inch blade length and triad lock. This is a beast. It's fully serrated. My brother collaborated with my friend Matt Cornelius. Matt Cornelius called my brother up and said, hey, I can get these knives at a discount at this one place. Do you want one? And my brother was like, I don't want one, I want two. And he bought this and gave it to me. Said, hey, this is just a gift. No special occasion. Not a birthday, not Christmas. Matt Cornelius told me he could get these for a good price, and I decided to buy you one. And I carried this in Arkansas, and I have to say, this is going to be a vulnerable knife to be against in a knife-on-knife contact. Hopefully you're not going to be in that situation, but you got 6 inches, you got a good piercing point, you got serrations, you got a lot of reach. You can choke up and hook with this, you can choke down and get a lot of reach. It's a good fighting photo. And I'd rather have this than the 6-inch tie light. Very good knife. Opens extremely well. It deploys very well. Now, my brother gave me this knife. This is the XL Espada. It's based off of the Navaja Caraca, which I am a big fan of the Navaja Caraca Spanish fighting knife. It's my opinion that the Spanish folding fighting knife influenced the Bowie knife due to the clip, the blade shape, and also in fighting method. The Spanish had Mediterranean blade shaped knives that also could influence the Bowie knife in size, but if the Spanish method of fighting with Bowie knives and fighting with the Navaja is near identical. I found I've read the fighting knife manual, or the Navaja fighting knife manual, and I found a newspaper article that was talking about how to fight with a Bowie knife from the 1900s. Maybe late 1800s, early 1900s, and the methodology behind fighting with the Bowie knife from that particular martial artist was near identical to the Navaja, and there was no back cutting involved, which I'm not saying the back cutting thing didn't exist. I'm just saying that I know for without a shadow of the doubt that the method of fighting with the Navaja Caraca and the Bowie knife did share some similarities and did influence each other, or at least the Navaja influenced the Bowie knife. And this is pretty much a folding Bowie knife, 7.5 inches, I think. You can choke down at the sub hilt, you can choke up and have this to hook with. This is going to cleave through just about everything you can put in front of it. High hollow ground, good piercing tip. This is a beast. I usually carry this in the front waistband, you feel pretty invincible with this knife. But I don't carry it that often because it's illegal to carry in Texas. I can only carry it in Arkansas and some other states. Now this knife, this last knife, I have carried a lot. This is my favorite cold steel folding knife, bar none. This is my dress self-defense knife. If I'm going to church, if I'm going out on the town, I'm wearing nice old clothes, this is the knife that I carry for self-defense. Because it's dressier, not that my adversary needs to see a pretty knife, but generally when I'm dressing nicer, I carry attractive knives. And so if someone who's asking, hey, what's that in your pocket clip? Well, what's that pocket clip? What is that? I pull it out, well, this is my self-defense knife, and I can say, hey, it's an attractive knife, but it's a functional knife. And this is what I carry for self-defense when I'm dressing a certain way. So when I'm conversating with someone about self-defense knives, you know, we often think of these black knives that are very plain looking, but this also is black, but it's very polished, very attractive. So it makes the self-defense knife or tactical knife, fighting photo, whatever you want to call it, it makes it more socially acceptable if it's attractive looking. Although this is still very aggressive looking due to the blade shape, but since it's polished up and shiny and stuff, you know, people are more interested in it, and it doesn't seem as scary as if you had, you know, this or a karambit or something that's pure ply G10, you know, Teflon coated, whatever. So I carry this knife. I've had this knife probably after I graduated high school in 2008, and I lost it for a short amount of time and refound it, and this knife has had more pocket time than any other of my knives, and I'll continue to use it. I'm considering getting the XHP version of it, and I'm also considering getting the medium or the small sized one for EDC task. That like have a dueling set or a set of self-defense knife and EDC knife that match each other. I think that would be cool. Although I don't really like broad-bellied knives for EDC task in general. I like Warncliffs and you know, stuff that has good tip control. That is like 98% of my folding knife collection. There's at least 2 or 3 knives that you didn't see. I don't know where they're at. Well, I don't know where my what you call it, Swiss Army knife is at, which I have to say the Victorinox Swiss Army knife Cadet with the A-LOX handle. I love Swiss Army knives with A-LOX handles. It's my favorite Swiss Army knife. And I'm also missing my fillet knife. It's a folding Benchmade fillet knife. I think it's discontinued. And I'm also missing my old school Recon 1, which was my second cold steel knife I ever bought. My first cold steel knife was the Tylite. Ended up selling it to a kid at school. But yeah, that is my folding knife collection. And they all fit in that box, although I don't keep them in that box. I hope you found this video somewhat entertaining. You know, like I said, this was a viewer request, and I thought I'd oblige him. So that's it. Hope you have a great day. I'm Satsu5, and I'm out.